Hey guys, a quick video to just talk about Matic Staker, and I guess as a warning to anyone who watches this. It just looks to me like it's very quickly about to fail, and I'll show you why I think that is. So the total contract balance at the moment is 3.3 million, and for the last, I would say, week or so, I haven't been tracking this carefully, but it's been hovering around the low 4 millions um, in terms of contract balance whenever I've looked at it. And then lately in the last couple of days, I've noticed it's just kind of ticking down a little bit. And again, I haven't been tracking the total contract balance over time, formally in any scientific way. But I just checked it before I went to bed. Essentially, I'll show you what that looks like. So last night, the total staked was 12.6 million. Contract balance was 3.6 million. That was already down over the last 24 hours from 4 point something. This morning, 9 a.m., so 9 hours later, the total the total staked had actually gone up. So you had 300,000 Matic worth of new investments come in to Matic Staker, but the contract balance dropped by about 300,000 or more than 300,000 in that same time period. So essentially, what you have is a case where today, in per every 9 hours, you would need 600,000 new Matic investors just to maintain the contract balance, and that's not happening. So this is what you'd expect to happen eventually with these ROI apps, that they eventually just kind of start the withdrawals exceed the amount of money that is in the contract. So I would expect, given this trend, that we're going to see some pretty quick collapse of Matic Staker. And what might that look like? Well, if you were just to do a linear calculation and say, well, all right, so we're losing about 300,000 Matic out of the contract every 9 hours. Well, how long would it take for it to collapse? And you arrive somewhere around 4 days, which is not too long. But actually, it's likely to be faster than that. And so the reason for that, I'll go back to, in my last video, I went through a tool that I'll link again in the description, uh, and where you can kind of plug in some numbers and work out how long some of these uh, ROI apps have to last. So this is not accurate. This is not populated for Matic Staker or anything, but um, I just wanted to show you the trend. So if you look at this red line um, in the model, the red line is the cumulative invested. You know, that goes up linear in a linear fashion, with everyone adding a certain amount per day. You assume that that's kind of rising at a certain rate, but the total contract balance, how it looks in the model, it kind of rises at the start. You get a rising contract balance, and then somewhere in the middle here, it will just stay roughly for quite a long period of time there, roughly around the same rate, and then it starts to drop really, really quickly towards the end. And when it starts to drop like that, there's no coming back. You look at the balance versus withdrawals. Let's have a look at the balance. You can see here it, in the model, it stays for a very long time around the 500s, 600s, back to the 500s, and then in the space of just a few days, it just drops out and completely collapses. So again, this is a model for other types of ROI investments. You can watch my last video if you want some more details on how this works, but it's the same theory when you talk about ROI apps, and it should be a very similar kind of curve. Um, so what that might mean is that you're not actually, excuse me, you're not actually getting this straight linear drop. It might actually be um, either a little bit slower or a little bit faster. So it's hard to work out exactly how long Matic Staker has to go, and I don't have an accurate model for this or anything like that, but just on the basis of these numbers, and as I said, we're seeing kind of a fast drop over the last 9 hours. It's been $300,000 out of the contract balance, and you only see that kind of drop at this stage in the ROI app's life. That's the end stage. So we're not talking, in my opinion. Again, this is this is all my opinion. This is not financial advice. I'm not a professional analyst by any stretch of the imagination. In my opinion, based on where we are, I would say, we're around about the 3 to 4 days left in the contract. So I could be wrong based on this curve. Like, it could actually stretch out, but I think this is, if you look at this curve, it's trending downwards faster than I guess a flat linear curve would be. So if the flat curve takes us to 4 days, I think 3 to 4 days is probably a good guess for how long Matic Staker has left to survive. Today's the 6th of March where I am, so we're talking about the 9th or the 10th of March before this contract runs out of money. Which is a pity for me because I've got, well, it's only 24 Matic investment, but 6 days left on the clock there. I don't think that's going to make it to 6 days. I'd be very happy if it did, but I just don't think that's going to happen. And you can see on the way that that they've programmed this smart contract. If you have been looking at Matic Staker for a while, you'll remember that the rates started something around 9% or even 8%. I can't remember what they were right at the beginning, and they've been steadily creeping up, and they're at the rate where they're astronomical. And I think the reason for this, these aren't real. No one's going to be getting 1139% returns or 20% daily. No one's going to be getting this. If you went into this 14 days ago, the rates were much lower. These rates, basically, to me, seem to be just a last-ditch effort to get people onto Matic Staker. So you go to Matic Staker, you see these returns. People say they've been able to withdraw, go, wow, great, I'm going to invest. And this is these just basically to try and attract people, just to keep the contract going a little bit longer. But it's not going to make much of a difference really, unless you start just getting a million Matic a day on this thing, which is unrealistic. That's the only way. As I said, 600,000 every 9 hours is what's needed today, just to keep the balance static and to kind of keep it going an extra full day. But we're getting about 300,000, so we're already on this sharp fall. And yeah, so my projection is around 3 to 4 days. We may see an uptick in deposits because of this incentives, which might stretch it out a couple of days more if we're lucky. I'm hoping to get lucky on my 6 days here, but yeah, this is basically a warning. Invest at your own risk on Matic Staker. I don't think there's any chance that you'd be getting 14 days out of this. I think you're not even coming close. If you were to do one of these savings where you can get your money back every day, I think you're still behind on that calculation. So to my analysis, this is pretty much done. And yeah, look, again, I need to reiterate, this is my own analysis. This is not financial advice. I could be wrong, but this is just what I'm seeing. So look, let's even check this. So 9 a.m. this morning, it's now 9:48, so 48 minutes later, 3328. And let's see, I'll just reload the page. So it's gone from 3328 to 320. So just in that 45 minutes, it's dropped another 18,000 Matic. So not much long left. 3 to 4 days. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't even last that long. So invest at your own risk, and hope this has been helpful. If it has, please like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video.